What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Magicide, and welcome back to our Geek Fest here, playing Shadowrun Chronicles Boston Lockdown. It's been a hot minute since we last left off in our campaign here. Didn't really want to do this. Didn't want to, create too much on my plate that I couldn't, keep up on my schedule to put out videos in a normal timing, not normal frequency. So we're going to try to adjust that here. I think I'm just going to straight up play a whole bunch of this game today, and then maybe play a whole bunch of my other series tomorrow, and then, they're on and they're in. So that way I can just have a whole bunch of episodes available for publishing on a daily basis. But anyways, since we last left off, we have some karma points here. And I'm thinking since we've accumulated enough, we should probably go for the latest and highest level of shotgun skills that we go for. So if we go for a resilient hero list here, we're going to get 3 hit points. It really totally sucks, but we have to get it. The next round is going to be double barrel, which is very, very disgustingly, deliciously awesome for us. So we're going to definitely want to save up for that. As far as the other skills go, the body and mind, I always feel like the body and mind ones are kind of just extra fluff, right? They're just for rounding out maybe the specific minutia of your build with some of these upgrades that you get. But the reason why you don't want to neglect into improving them is that you want your upgraded version of your I guess your gathering skills. Because if you noticed in previous missions, every time that we clicked on a organ harvesting spot, it'll give me a percentage, and that percentage will be based upon my level. And obviously if I don't have maxed out, when we get into a later portion of the game, then we might be missing out on some loot. So let's continue on here. I think we'll probably do what we always do and start off with the talking of all the villagers here. And as I said before, I'll go through these slowly, the ones that are not voice acted, so that everybody can read these and kind of go along. I just find it to be really incredibly awkward to be reading the dialogue, especially between two different people. What am I supposed to do as the narrator? Am I supposed to actually give each person their own character and tone and everything, or am I just supposed to say it in my own voice?
Under the knight-errant exclusivity.
It's awkward either way, so that's why I choose not to do it. But we also don't want to skip out on all the dialogue, because I do feel like it's a portion of the game that I don't want to skip over, because I feel like there's so many of other people that do a Let's Play series here on YouTube that just will play the game and skip over all of the little details that some people like myself really appreciate, would like to actually play the game for. So maybe 15 years from now, assuming that this series is still on YouTube and available, and this game's no longer available, or whatever the case may be, at least it's documented to some degree in my campaign. Like I said, I know it sounds a little arrogant, but it's unintentional.
Hey, Bozeman, did you find out anything about the dragon incident?
I tried to send a spy drone into Fenway, but the police have put up some serious jammers in the area, so I lost contact. If you find a spy drone lying around, bring it back, will you?
You mean those drones the size of a fly? A little bit like a needle in a haystack, isn't it?
Guess you're right. Well, if you find any drone, you can just bring it to me, huh?
Right. Did you find out anything about this dragon?
He doesn't match any of the dragon sightings of the last 10 years. He may be pre-crash. I will keep checking.
Let me know if you find out anything.
Alright, I don't think we have enough Nuyen to actually hit up, say, Lady Luck for a new weapon upgrade, but I'm thinking we may have enough for an armor upgrade if it's available from Pancake. Let's see here. We want to take a look at your shotgun. So it turns out we don't even have a shotgun upgrade here, so that's fine. As far as weapons, let's make sure. I remember picking a bunch of stuff up. There we go, the BLT chip. I think the other things that we received in some of the other gathering skills or whatever, I think were cosmetic items. Let's see here. Let's go to your buy menu. Still the same stuff. If I remember correctly, the last time I went through this entire game, it was a while before there were armor upgrades available via the vendor.
Hey, Buster.
The Boston PD has called for support from retired Army and cops. The Dragon hitting both Fenway and Neonet is stretching their resources. Me and the boys are thinking of volunteering.
To the other side of the law? I thought you were enforcers for Smedley.
And I apologize before, that was kind of a misclick there. Didn't mean to do it too quick.
Nah, we were always about keeping the peace. Fixers, gangers, dirty cops. It doesn't really matter who you deal with as long as the streets are safe.
It would have been so much better instead of it being Andy if it was Simon.
Disperse immediately and
I think that would have been a nice little nerd nod for the gamers of my age. I'm not sure if we have any upgrades yet available to us. So what do we have for our arm? We have the pneumatic arm. Damage, range, accuracy. Okay. That's pretty much the way I want to keep it. Like, I'm really not all that interested in a lot of these other things.
the premises.
It's pretty much going to come down to, like, range and accuracy are going to be your biggest thing, because the shotguns do quite a bit of damage. That's not the problem. Yes, I could have went through the entire cyberware catalog there to see if there were any upgrades, but I don't believe there are. I think it was the same thing as the armor vendor situation, where we're not going to actually see any upgrades available in the shop for a while. You have to keep in mind,
Don't look very happy.
we're still pretty early in the game.
Can you believe that? A dragon crashing into Fenway. I almost went there myself.
Now you're glad you didn't go, huh?
Glad? You know what that means? The Red Sox are finished for this season. They lost most of their team. I've never been so angry.
Matter of perspective, probably.
Yeah, it's weird that Zoe here wasn't voice casted before, and it was only for that one little bit of dialogue. I've always found that to be really incredibly awkward. And then her friend, Silky here, who seems to be like the central conceit behind this entire arrangement, doesn't get voice casted. No voice actors. I just don't understand it. It just almost makes me wonder if, like, Cliffhanger, like, ran out of money midway through, like, paying for some of these positions to get voice acted.
Ready for action? Smedley has a new job for us.
Very curious.
I heard. Right into the midst of the action. Fenway, here we come.
Sounds like we should try to be on top of our game.
If you're visiting the Green Monster, bring me a souvenir.
Not sure I'll have time for that. Hey, Payday. I'm headed into the field. Any advice for me?
You should stock up on your gear a bit. If there is any security left in Fenway, they will be tougher than those gangers we faced.
I'm all for being prepared, but they're charging an arm and a leg for gear that's second-hand or worse.
So true. The availability of the items inside the shops are pretty trash right now. That's right. Okay, let's see here. So contextually, what we're supposed to do is, since we stole the ambulance and the ambulance crew's uniforms, what we're supposed to do is actually come in here and change our outfit straight up to the uniform. Let's see here. It was the dock wagon. And I'm pretty sure it's straight up has to be the dock wagon overall, not the cyber dock overall. Although I would have to double check on that. But I know for sure that I've done it before with the dock wagon overall equipped.
Now that you've got yourself an ambulance, I have taken the liberty of supplying you with a fake SIN.
This area.
What if someone stops us?
It will pass a superficial inspection, but I don't expect anyone will look twice at an ambulance running its lights. It shan't be any trouble.
That's what you said the last time.
Well, I didn't trip the alarm inside the dock wagon facility, did I? And you got compensated for the hassle.
No, Persp. So what's the plan?
Quite straightforward, I should imagine. Drive in, grab the goods, drive out. Easy peasy.
Like that ever works.
A little more faith, my friend. There have been distress calls from a Detective McCarthy at Gate B on Van Ness Street. Get yourself there and make like you belong.
And if they call the bluff?
Improvise. Eyes on the prize, my friend. Eyes on the prize. Good luck, and bring me back a souvenir.
This is going to be a multi-mission series, so there's going to be like different tiers to it. So at the feet of the monster, with an actual ambulance in your possession, you are ready to go to the stadium. After the incident, there is bound to be a lot of confusion. Use it to get into the stadium. Okay, so since we are organ harvesting and demolish, we obviously are going to need a decker. We're going to need one of them, and then we're going to need somebody else with lockpick. So let's see here. You have hacking. See, I'd rather just have the actual hacker. I mean, it's fairly obvious. So you had what? You had demolish. Okay, so I need somebody with lockpick. So we can go with batshit. I mean, having magic is pretty good. They're really good for, especially for like AoE attacks, but they're really squishy. I mean, obviously, of course, they're a caster. So we got DPS, we got kind of technical DPS, utility, magic. We can go for like just straight up another damage dealer, which is not a bad option. Or I'm thinking maybe potentially I could probably go with, yeah, one of the riggers. I kind of like the sound of that. We could use the extra hand in this. As you approach Fenway Park, sirens wailing, dozens of makeshift infirmaries have sprung up around the grounds. And Smedley was right. As the grid navigates you onto Van Ness Street with priority status, you easily bypass security. No one cares to check yet another ambulance. So we have to get to Gate B and enter the stadium.
With the ambulance and the sexy getup, you look like the real thing. So make sure you don't say anything stupid. Just get through to the stadium entrance.
You need 50 cc's of shut the dreck up a line. Stat.
Now, don't quote me on this, but I could swear that in the beginning there was no difference between you entering this mission without the uniform on versus with you having it on. Although I remember there was one patch where it actually forced you into it. If you didn't have it equipped, it wouldn't let you go forward. I don't know if there's any difference anymore if you entered this mission without it on versus having the uniform equipped. I'd be really curious to find that out. I suppose what I could do is actually reload the game and we could test it. Oh, son of a bitch, that's right, I forgot. We're not playing with XCOM. I have my rotate camera button set to delete and end in XCOM. And here you can't remap your buttons, unfortunately. So you're stuck with using Q and E, and it's just really awkward for me every time I jump back into this game.
Oi, Chumma. You don't look so good. What happened to you?
Fraggin' dragon, man. Smashed right into the green monster.
You saw the dragon?
Yeah, man. It was beautiful. All the colors of the rainbow.
Man, I want some of what you're having.
According to his file, he's had 60 milligrams of morphine over the last hour. Quite frankly, it's amazing that he's awake.
Yo, Doc, any update on what happened here?
Buzz, get your asses outside. We still have plant customers out there that need hauling in.
So unfortunately, I don't have anybody else with lockpick. So all that's really left for us to do is just move up. There are going to be other areas for gathering.
Died of internal hemorrhage, massive trauma to the head and upper body.
Oh, we get another shot here. So we got a new cosmetic item there, the hazmat suit. No, it's not like an actual piece of armor that confers any kind of bonuses or anything. Which is too bad. You'd think something like that would actually... would indeed have possessed some kind of abilities. But nope, just pure cosmetic. I don't remember if I've actually said this before in previous episodes, but there are the fictitious future drugs in this game, and cram is one of them. Along with, let's see here, jazz. I'm just trying to remember what the other ones were. They all had like these really weird, fictitious, snappy titles.
Best leave them alone.
That Tuska's ghoul food. Anyone can see that. No point in CPR.
He has a platinum dock wagon contract. It guarantees 4 resuscitations per year. Gotta work him for at least 15 minutes.
Shut it, concrete cleaner. I don't need some newbie telling me how our service works. Haven't you got more body bags to haul?
Can you help me? Can you stop them from whispering?
Sorry, Chumma. Just passing through.
Oh no. Oh no, you must go.
So I guess in the tactical sense that this isn't really a mission necessarily here. It's really just for the story itself.
The fragging bastards trampled me, crushed my foot.
Shut up. We'll have it fixed in no time.
This one is odd. The monitoring data suggests he died of a cerebral seizure, like you get when you implant Drek headwear, but he doesn't have any wear in him.
Maybe he got too worked up about the dragon?
I know how implant rejection looks. The damage is very specific. It's hard to miss.
So pretty much at this point in time, we just have this one organ harvesting node up here. And beyond that, it's pretty much just talking to the detective over here. Which we obviously don't want to do until we've hit up this. Let's see here. Can we go... You have it. There we go. So we got some sort of new cyberware. It is secondhand, so it's going to have shittier stats than the normal variant, I suppose.
If you want to go in there, be careful. We haven't been able to secure the lower levels yet. All my people are tied up out here.
Yeah, from a design standpoint, you'd think that this should be the end of the mission. This is just like one of those chores that I feel like it's just completely extraneous. It literally is a chore for the player to do this. Never really quite understood when you have tactical RPGs like this, that they do this to you.
Smedley has something he wants to tell you in person.
What?
Your comlink is AR enabled, right?
Yes, but...
And after the end of these missions, you'll end up into some sort of like new central hub. There's really not much else to do here except basically, you know, well, either get up and, you know, go do something else at your time if you want to give up the mission itself, or if you actually just want to continue on. Actually, delete this. So these hubs here in like these little submissions, they're basically just a way to have like an intermission, if you will, in the different little nodes in the submissions of the overall Umbrella mission. That's basically what these are. There's really nothing else to do here except advance the story, advance to the next, I guess, story, sub-story node. So we'll do that right now, since this is, you know, not really going to take us too much time to actually complete the next mission.
What is this place?
This is my personal node. It's actually more secure than talking face to face.
So what's the big news?
Just a word of warning. Knight Errant is jamming all signals in the area. The ambulance car you used has an improved rig. Jane is piggybacking on that to keep our connection. But we are not sure how long we can stay in touch.
Understood. Any idea why they're jamming the signals?
Officially, too many people tried to connect with someone on the inside, blocking the emergency personnel from communicating effectively.
That's Drek. They have their own secure channels.
They do indeed. So there must be another reason. You may find out more when you are inside the stadium. Talk to me again when you're ready.
All right, so we got our four karma there. So I guess that would be the other reason why, you know, you'd have this little area, is because you collect all that karma, and yes, you can spend your karma. But the problem is I think, yeah, there's only going to be this. And pretty much this is the only thing that that's really going to be beneficial for us. So we might as well just get it out of the way. Or, you know what, why don't we not do that? Why don't we hold back? Because I do kind of want to go up to the next round for shotgun. I do want to have the 10 points from this. We're only 3 karma away from it. And I think we could probably hold off until then. That's fine.
Jane, what are you doing here?
Hey, May. Looking good. Smedley invited me here, same as you.
So this is his personal node. Not one for decor, is he?
He keeps it plain. You should see mine. It's a beauty. Built by the latest in node sculpting software.
Were you just offering to show me yours?
As if. Go talk to the boss man. I'm sure it's important.
Are you ready?
Let's get this over with.
Alrighty, let's hop right into the next series here. Alright, game day! The entrance to the stadium is before you. Now all you need to do is head in, steal the trophies, and get out. So we're gonna stick with the same group that we had before. I think that was a pretty well-balanced group. There is the both of you guys. So these people are literally the same guy, just different. I mean, literally the same as far as stats, except for one has a little bit more movement. This guy, more hit points. Why don't we go with him? He looks pretty good to me. I've seen so much of Jimmy Mack in my playthroughs before that I'm just kind of burnt out. We could just go with Thunderbolts. She's definitely a possibility. I think it's just gonna have to be Thunderbolts. Bulls. Yeah, we're gonna go with her.